Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Particularly want to thank our $20 tier supporters over at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. Those being Trivia Alexander, Smith Bates, L, and Cat Waterflame. Thank you so much for your continued support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy.
You've used that one too many times, Jack.
And we're live, where Jack just let us all know that he would love an anal railgun.
It was quiet for a really long time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Stardust RPG on Trails of Stardust. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your game master for this 5th edition science fantasy campaign of my own devising. Joining me today, we have Jack the Second.
That's me. I'm Jack the Second.
There you are.
and I will be playing Surprise, the ethereal sorcerer.
Living up to your name in every way that counts.
Yeah.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Kendall Fairchild, a Ladrin Warlock. Nothing funny, just that.
And Craig.
Correct. I am playing Just Us, the ethereal Swarmkeeper Ranger / Domain of Light Cleric. And Holly has made the questionable decision to entrust me with the mechanical maneuvering of Mistle today as well.
So when Holly's back, we'll have a new character in that slot.
I'll try not to make that happen, Holly.
I feel like it'll be very easy to keep the thief rogue who has gained supreme sneak at this level out of being murdered. And can fly, you know. And Jack the Elder.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Tild Wayland, the Avian Way of the Iron Path gun monk.
Gunk.
No. No.
The avian gunk, yes.
It's just efficient.
And
Sorry.
Sen.
I'm Zen. I'm playing Coltarn, the orc artificer, gadgeteer, master, maker. And I'm desperately trying to figure out the logistics of an anal railgun. Like, would it be something that you use on yourself?
No, we've already established
others?
what the anal railgun is. We've seen it happen.
I know what the real life version is. I'm talking about taking that as like a template and building off of it.
Well, you get a bigger MRI.
As I said,
Find it on Pornhub.
Also, Saints Row already beat you to that punch.
That's fair.
But
By creating one in real life?
I'm just thinking about launching a pig's anus like through a electromagnetic railgun at like near light speed velocities and just seeing what it does.
So a railgun that fires anuses.
Yeah, an anal railgun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just concerned about a video game franchise creating either sex toys or weapons for real life use.
no. Also, well, before that, I heard the loudest fucking thunder outside. So if your DM drops off the face of the earth suddenly,
I'll
the
take
power
over.
probably went out for a minute.
That was just the anal railgun.
Test firing.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, human rights, eat the rich, happy wrath, and
Strike!
And support your striking workers.
Yeah, fuck
especially your currently striking actors and writers.
I'm not a part of SAG because I haven't been hired on a SAG thing that you have to do in order to join SAG, but solidarity.
Wouldn't be surprised if there's not some striking in Atlanta, to be honest.
There's not a lot of union work in Atlanta.
Not none, though.
Not none,
I mean,
but not a lot.
Literally any Marvel film.
I'll say most Marvel films are filmed in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
You know why?
Tax breaks.
Tax breaks, yeah. But it's still union-based.
Like, the tax breaks is what brings them there. The unions go with them anyway because they have to.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
That's the whole point of the union.
Anyways.
But anyway.
But when last we left our heroes, adventurers,
I like how you say that as if it's a qualified.
It's a downgrade is what it is.
I mean, I'm not sure we're anybody's heroes.
Adventurers. From heroes to adventurers.
Nobody should look up to us.
You should look up to Coltarn, mostly because he's taller than you.
They had been journeying through and making their way from the first after taking a rest after exiting the Eventide. The group decided to maneuver into another one of the 3 massive ships that have been taking up the exterior of this one dock outside of Gilgamesh Station, the Frozen Fang. Upon entering the bridge and finding a bit of information about what had been going on with the soul lantern that had been provided to them by Ivern, the group decided to avoid moving through the majority of the ship and go around the outside to find their way to the hangar and make their way in there. Upon doing so, the group discovered that there is.
Oh, by the way, is this stream powered by Sirenscape?
Yes, the stream is also powered by Sirenscape, which I will get to in a minute when I finish my fucking introduction.
Sorry, ADHD. I haven't been on Adderall for a few weeks.
But discovered that there is a single remaining fighter from this ship's store, which appears to have been left behind primarily because its thruster systems do not appear to have been functioning. Using Till's ability to relatively swiftly repair vehicles, was able to at least temporarily get the ship's thrusters functioning. But before anything could be done about that, Kendall picked up with the motion sensor that is still that they are still holding, picked up the incoming presence of significant motion activity on the way into the hangar. So
do I have time to get back into the mech?
I will say just enough as we go ahead, and we'll be rolling initiative as I move you over to this battle screen.
While we're doing that, and other people, not me for sure, but other people are getting into Roll20 who weren't already there. Can I?
I think we're all pretty much here, Craig.
Yeah, almost all of us. Well, there's like maybe one person who's missing.
Maybe one. That's no, I mean not me. I'm definitely in there now. But is the implication then that the other fighters were just flown out of here by Nyx's crew?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, for those of you who are familiar with the undead and their methods, which is only a handful of you really, like honestly just us and maybe 1 or 2 other people, maybe Till. The typical modus operandi for the Necros pirates is, because they're undead and thus do not need to breathe or be concerned with most environmental hazards in space, is to crack ships open on the hull and just vent them into space, and then take the ship and everything in it after the entire crew has either died to being exposed to space or anyone who managed to find a spacesuit in that time has been systematically killed by a boarding party. So, because they apparently didn't just keep these ships to add to their fleet of ghost ships like they typically do, presumably they took everything of value, including any, fighters that might have been worth grabbing.
Fantastic.
But
we slowly increase our arsenal one ship at a time. Actually, while we're rolling initiative, how much, we've got room for a mech. We've got at least the Zervon and the Kolnash Malak. We might have room for maybe a medium mech, which is a huge size. We've got room for one fighter. Do we have room for another fighter? Or
you have room for exactly 2 fighters in the hangar of the Kolnash Flotilla.
2 fighters. How many mechs would we be able to fit in there?
Mechs are taking up essentially cargo space and vehicle space. You can probably fit.
Because we've also got the truck.
You can probably fit 1, maybe 2 more into the cargo space. The fighters have a specific number of slots because that's how many fighter bays the Golnash can support.
They exit differently, right?
Yeah.
On that note, how hard would it be for me to turn our truck into a Dust Runner?
Very difficult because you'd have to basically take it apart and put it back together again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'd need a full rebuild on that one, right?
Yeah, because it is currently just a ground vehicle.
Because I do have plans for an armored personnel carrier that would improve both the defensive capabilities and the offensive capabilities of our truck. But I didn't know how much it might serve as a launching off point or not.
Yes. Please position yourselves anywhere within the red box as you roll.
I was going to say, Till was over by fixing the fighter, so I assume he and Surprise are roughly in the same region.
I would have been by the fighter, but then run back to the Zervon, because I had exited the Zervon to inspect it, so I'll say the Zervon's probably, here.
There.
Oh, did you... okay, yeah, I see what you did. Let me add Surprise.
I'm just not good at using.
So, Craig is running Mistel. Who wants to run Strida, and who wants to run Jasira, and who wants to run Xander?
I can run any of those that we need. Or if people want to divvy them up.
I'll run Jasira.
Okay. Anybody want Street or Xander?
Which direction is the motion coming from again? I apologize.
On this map, northeast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Xander's pretty easy to run. So Till, if you want to run Street, I'll run Xander and Jasira.
Okay.
In combat, Xander basically just fires his gun.
Yeah,
bang, 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 bang,
yeah,
bang, bang.
He shoots mans, and that's it.
He is a craftsman. He is not meant for the complicated fighting style.
Says you. I made a craftsman that does exactly the complicated fighting style. Of course, she's a Forge Knight, and
woo.
Look, all I'm saying is that when you have a good enough strength score as a craftsman, you can build a hammer the size of God. And I did.
Right.
My 6th level craftsman swings a hammer that does 4d10 of damage.
Immediately at the top of initiative, the enemy arrive. At least the initial wave of them. As emerging out, sort of crashing their way through the hall, coming in from the outside, the outside of this room.
Why is Kendall all the way in the front?
Because Kendall was holding the motion tracker.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
No.
Because Kendall, when left unsupervised, will just fucking wander, and I picked a random place for her to be.
Fair enough.
Bursting through the entryway from the hall, come a pair of massive skeletal horned figures, each bearing an enormous great axe in their hands.
A toy.
And then riding between them, the first thing that you've seen that looks like it is more advanced than the basic Living Dead is what appears to be a headless figure riding what appears to be a ghostly horse, with a ethereal-looking blade clutched in their arm, as riding behind them, or running behind them, come a small squad of the Living Dead, a number of regular zombies and skeletons emerging behind them. As the enemies arrive.
Wee.
Which I failed to get their initiatives tracked in the entire time that I was setting all this up, so 1 second. Skeleton, Minotaur, Skeleton. Eight.
Also, Shawnee, using a scale that you will know the meanings of, on a range of Zell to Squall, where is Xander emotionally during a fight?
Laguna.
Got it. All right. So,
honestly, yeah, Laguna is probably a good answer.
To translate that for anyone else that isn't familiar with those characters, Nathan Fillion, who I would cast in Laguna if they did a live action like movie or TV series of Final Fantasy VIII.
I could see that.
Yeah, like either Nathan Fillion or right now his Hispanic twin brother, whose name I can't think of, who
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah.
Either Fillion or Pascal. One of the two.
I know my actors. I've never watched One Piece though, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Mistel is up first, Craig.
So
with Xander on deck.
In looking at Mistel's character sheet, we need to get Mistel some ranged weapons, y'all.
Yeah, she just has short swords at the moment.
She has, apparently, if this character sheet is accurate, 4 short swords and 4 daggers.
Mistel has never once asked for a ranged weapon.
I know.
Daggers are a ranged weapon.
I'm going to defend this in character by saying Bees did not have a great sense of group tactics. I think Just Us has a much better sense of group tactics, and will lobby hard for that going forward.
Specifically, she has 2 short swords and 2 daggers.
Okay, all right.
I was going to say that's an improbable number of short swords.
It does seem to be an improbable number of short swords.
It's because her short swords are daggers, and her daggers are like thumbtacks.
Increasingly tiny. So I think what is the throwing range on a dagger?
2060.
2060, yeah, I think it's right.
2060. Okay.
2060, unless you got something modifying it.
Sure.
Like a craftsman.
Okay. I think
masterwork daggers feel like a waste of craftsman's abilities.
They're not though, because you can make a you can make a non-exotic masterwork dagger that is returning, has really long range, and does the damage of a short sword. Sorry, continue.
No, you're fine. I would like to have Mistel. Is Mistel small enough to use a bonus action to hide on Just Us?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Behind Just Us's back.
Being tiny and you being medium, yes.
Okay, cool. I would like to do that then, please. And She will sort of fly around, hide just behind the shoulder where she normally rides, and is going to ready a thrown dagger action when she is within 20 feet of one of the big guys.
Because of Supreme Sneak, that stealth check will be an advantage.
Okay. And I don't know. I apologize. I'm rolling in roll 20, so the
19.
doing anything?
Excellent.
Okay. All right. So a 19.
Yep. So missile's hiding well. Xander's up. Just us. You're after that one.
Is there any cover that can be had, like, in this area over here?
That's an elevated area that does have a guardrail, so yes, it is basically all cover.
Does Xander have the ability to get up there, or would he have to run to the stairs?
I mean, he can try and climb.
Yeah, he's gonna... So Xander's just gonna go, guys! Just to make sure everyone sees it. And then he's gonna see if he can climb up to here where Till is.
Yep. Just roll me a quick either athletics or acrobatics for him.
We're gonna go with 16.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Right, so he's gonna get up there, and he is gonna take 2 pot shots at the Ghost Knight.
All right. Only 2 attacks.
19 and 25.
Both hit.
For 8 fire and 10 fire damage.
Nice.
So yeah, guys, and she's gonna like do the running across the back of chairs thing that I used to do in high school theater. Just up crate over rail, and then shoulder against rail and begin firing over the rail. 2 quick shots.
Just us. You're up.
Justus will draw the bowlight blade, or Keeper's Watch, and just stalks forward towards the group, coming to here. Mistle riding along will get to, I guess, about here and toss the dagger at the Minotaur skeleton. I will roll for her.
So
that's with advantage, correct? Because it's
you would be
hidden. That's a 24, but let me roll a 25. Okay. And that's sneak attack damage, yes?
Yes.
All right, so
I don't know why
16 from the sneak attack.
the stream observer is not seeing everyone's vision.
9 from the dagger.
So 25 total from the
Nice.
On the Minotaur skeleton. This guy here, and then we'll just sort of clinging onto Justus's back, and then as Justus stalks forward, they hold out horizontally the handle of the Keeper's Watch, and place their left hand over the sigil of the sun on their chest plate, and trace the pattern of it marching forward, and we'll say, "You are creatures that do not belong in the light of day. Hide from it or be washed away by it." And then a blast of light will come out, and I'm going to try to turn undead / destroy undead.
All right. What's the rating on your destroyer right now?
Destroy is. I mean, the DC is 17.
But what's the CR that it can kill?
Yes, I am checking. I believe it's 5. CR is lower than the threshold for your level. Damn it, where is that?
CR 1. Okay.
Oh, CR 1. Okay, where do I find that for future reference?
It's in your level table of you get higher level destroy undeads as you level up. It's also in the destroy undead entry on like D&D.
I think I need to click it and expand. Yeah, I click it and expand it out. So yeah,
CR 1 or lower.
Yeah.
At 11 it'll be 2. At 14 it'll be 3, and at 17 it'll be 4.
Yay. All right, so each undead that you can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom save.
And that is all of them. That's why I moved to that spot.
Yep, that is literally all of them. Okay. So, the Minotaur skeletons. Success. Fail. That tracks. Ghost Knight.
That first guy got a natural 1. Good for him. I mean, natural 20. Good for him.
Ghost Knight fail. And probably 4 dead zombies and skeletons. 1 sec.
Yeah.
1, 2. Oh, 1 succeeds.
Ignore this movement of the Zervat. I'm just trying to check something.
4 dead zombies.
Yeah. So yeah, the observer has no, like, I don't know what the observer is getting. I think the observer is only getting vision off of Strida. Yeah. If that could be adjusted. I don't know if it can.
So one looks like one Zombo, one skeleton, and one of the Minotaur skeletons.
Yeah. So these ones are dead.
Can I say that it looks like Judgment Day? You know, the skeleton against the chain fence.
Yeah, just
back by the front.
Yeah. And one. So these two are turned, which we will use whichever symbol is appropriate here.
They've gotten turned.
We'll use that one.
Gotta love a good turn undead.
Why are they starting to kiss each other?
This one has to run for its turn as it goes this way. Till, you're up. Surprise, you're on deck.
Okay, Till is going to stick with the tactical analysis of prior statements. Can Till make an insight on Koltarn and try and anticipate where the Zervan's going to be moving?
Sure.
If I'm not, should I make like a, or should it be like as my passive persuasion? I guess.
Just I'll see the insight
for,
check and
how
judge on that.
Yep, 17 on insight.
Yeah, you got a decent enough read.
Does it look like he's going to close?
Koltarn, from what you can tell, based on at the moment, based on body language, it looks like Koltarn's intention is to close with this Minotaur skeleton.
Okay,
in such a way that it blocks, sort of cuts off access from the other undead as well.
All right.
So he's looking to get like right here.
45. Okay. So Till could technically go to here and probably still be in cover once the Zervan gets. So Till's gonna post up right about here. And since that Ghost Knight is turned, we're going to put 2 rounds into him with the revolver to start with. 20 to hit.
Okay.
Squeezes off 1 and is aiming for something that looks like it might knock this guy out of commission a little bit. We're going to try for a stunning strike.
All right.
Which would be a
con save.
Con save, yep. Which is a DC 17, I believe, currently.
Oh, right. He should actually have. Never mind. He's not turned because he has turning defiance.
Okay.
He's defiant to getting turned.
That said, he is not immune to being stunned, so he is probably stunned.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I'm irritating Jeremy or something else is irritating Jeremy.
No, nothing's irritating me. That said, I'm just gonna say it. Anybody who designs an undead creature
that is not immune to being stunned.
Not immune to being stunned, they designed that creature wrong. It's stupid, especially if it's a skeleton.
Well, this one's a ghost, but yeah.
All right. If he's stunned, then my next attack is at advantage.
Even more so a ghost. You're hitting vital points.
It's magic key infused bullets is what it is.
It's still not the point. Ghost. Look,
my general read is that the monk is able to use their key to sort of basically disrupt the ghost's essence and force it to take a second to reform itself.
Right.
We all agree they're a great band, but I don't know what you're going on about.
Look, you hit them right in their funny bone, and they just have to laugh for a minute. That's all.
And then we're going to spend a key point for Flurry of Shells and take 2 more shots at advantage.
I want to Shawnee, at some point, not on stream obviously, but I want to stack up the gunslinger from Mage Hand Press against your Way of the Iron Path monk, and see how they see how they are similar or different from each other.
That's 39 damage with 4 shots to the Ghost Knight.
Yep. Anything else?
And then he'll just yell for everybody to engage. And that's everything. Yep.
Surprise. You're up with Streeter on deck.
Oh wait, how far away am I? I should check that.
You are generally 50 feet from the closest thing.
Okay. What's the range on my spell?
Infinity.
Oh, I'm good. We're going to upcast and twin Chaos Bolt, because that worked so nicely last time.
Okay.
Good
Okay. Yes. Shawnee, can you give the Zervan's vision to the stream observer?
Yeah, 1 second.
We're going to.
The stream observer should have vision because it's in control of the Zervan.
The only
We're
thing
going
it
to
has vision on
target-
right now is Strida.
The Ghost Knight with
I don't
one.
know why it has vision on Strida and not any of the other NPCs, because they're all available to all players. Sorry, go on. That was on the Minotaur skeleton?
One on the Minotaur skeleton and one on the
The Ghost Knight.
Ghost Knight. It didn't. Oh wait, it doesn't ask me what level until I.
Yeah.
You hit damage, yeah. Was that first one aimed at the Minotaur or the Ghost Knight?
Yeah.
Minotaur? Okay, that hits.
So there's
Okay.
Another one for the Ghost Knight. But yeah.
Ghost Knight is at advantage because he's stuck.
Oh, yes.
I'm casting it.
A range attacks at advantage
Level?
against stun targets?
Every attack
Every
stun targets.
all attack rolls. Yep.
Nice.
That's
18.
Stunned
What am
is
I?
dope as shit.
7
Yep.
and 1. I can choose.
Well, your
my
2d8s,
damage
your
type.
2d8s are 2 and 5.
2 and 5. What am I looking at?
The
going
first
on?
the first box is the d8, second box is the d6.
Oh, and then the top box is the extra d6s.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, 2 and 5.
I love Chaos Bolt.
Let's do lightning.
It is not Roll20 friendly though.
Right.
We're gonna lightning this Minotaur, and then we're going to advantage on the Ghost Knight. We're gonna advantage all over that Ghost Knight. Advantage. Chaos Bolt.
I believe that'll still. Yep, it's AC is 17. You miss.
Oh gosh darn it.
Ah, bummer.
Surprise has 2 guns, so she points one at each target, and lightning jumps out of one, and then the other one doesn't do anything, and she just looks at it like, what the heck?
Street up.
Shrita, who has a movement speed of what again? Not super fast, is probably going to have to dash in order to get anywhere. She's going to get to here. And she, since we're going up against undead, is going to pop Aura of Life.
Didn't I? I forgot to put range on Radiance. Which is Radiance is a 60-foot range.
Yeah. So, anybody in...
Oh, now the audience can see. Because Streeter moved closer.
Oops, I accidentally clicked on myself. 30-foot radius. Okay.
30-foot radius. Ah!
Hang on. The primary aura, the aura number 1 is her health bar aura.
We'll do this.
Oh no, both auras are being consumed. That's right, because the aura thing is that's the downside of the health bar auras. Okay. I need to add a nope, can't add a third aura, but
Just draw a circle.
yeah, I can just draw a circle. Or I can just add an extra token here. Hang on. You'll do. Go to the back, have a 30-foot aura. There.
All right. Anybody in that circle has resistance to necrotic damage. And your hit point maximum can't be reduced. And when you start your turn, if you're missing any, if you're unconscious, you get a hit point back. If you're inside the aura. All right. So there we go.
Right.
That's her turn.
Kendall. Yep.
All right, Kendall is still just keeping an eye on the tracker. Doesn't really just look up, just goes Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast.
So you keeping your eye on the tracker, you see there is still more stuff incoming.
Yes.
From the same direction or a different
Yes,
direction?
from the same direction.
Okay.
So that's new information to the rest of us, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yes.
don't know.
What? Oh, we know now?
No,
No,
Not yet,
she
not
hasn't
yet.
said
because
anything.
Kendall hasn't said anything yet.
Lovely. Lovely. I will strategize accordingly.
Yet, we'll see. Well, she will move slightly. We'll move up there. So that Till is not in between her and the and her target. Because we know how well that works when you cast a cantrip and there is a PC between you and your target.
I mean, to be fair, Till is also 20 feet off the ground. So, you know.
That
But
means
yeah.
nothing.
Okay, fair enough.
What were you aiming at?
I've been hit in the shoulder with an allied ray of frost enough times that
Ghost Knight? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ghost Knight's still at advantage attacks.
Oh, yeah, you just have advantage on that one.
Okay.
26 does hit.
And then
one of these
Hell yeah.
one of these days I'm going to start rewriting the descriptions for all my spells to be
22 also
what it
hits.
looks like specifically for that character.
total of 19.
Very nice.
Just pew pew. Don't use all of your shit on these guys.
Would you like to elaborate on that, Miss Fairchild?
Huh? That's my turn.
Okay.
Very
I
useful.
gave you a
Thank-
good enough clue, and it's funny.
I love
Yes,
how-
it
my-
is.
that's
It's
my-
perfect. It's absolutely legit.
For anyone watching that might be getting frustrated, remember, we stay in character 100% of the time, and that includes making bad decisions in combat.
100% of the time might be a strong declaration.
Yeah.
There is a crackle of luminous energy through the being that is just us, and then it sort of fades and comes back up and fades again. Perhaps this is the ethereal equivalent of a sigh.
Skeleton charges up. Running forward as it just holds up a pistol, which is going to take the place of the skeleton's standard short bow attack.
That skeleton has a gun!
And try and shoot just us.
Get
The
down,
16
Mr. President.
It does not.
As it just sort of limply with his pistol in his hand, just sort of fires, and the bullet just sort of skitters off of your armor.
Punt target number 1 acquired.
Zombort. 5, 10, 15, 20. Pretty certain zombies only have a 20 movement speed. Yep.
You just hear there's a very calm don't.
Runs up and tries to slam just us. Also misses with a 16.
You either.
All right, the
Fantastic.
Zervon.
All right. The Zervon runs up this way. I have a 45-foot movement speed. I've got plenty of movement, but Just want to make sure. First, bonus action to step on the skeleton as I walk past. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
6 bludgeoning and sorry, just 6 bludgeoning damage total. Because I rolled real bad on that.
Yep.
And yep, we're gonna go ahead and punch it, since it seems resilient to being stepped on.
Well, it didn't die from getting stepped on. So
27 to hit.
that hits, yes.
For 9 bludgeoning and 9 lightning, 2 of which arcs over to the zombie.
Now it's gone.
So just step, swat. It goes. The Zeron comes over, kicks, and then swats the skeleton across the room. Steps up to here.
Told you not to.
And I'm taking the second strike at the Ghost Knight with the fist. With advantage because it's still stunned. 26 and 26 to hit.
That hits.
9 bludgeoning and 8 lightning. 2 of which arcs to the Minotaur.
Yep.
Oh wait, sorry, hang on. Sorry. Both the zombie and the Minotaur need to make a dexterity saving throw. Or take half the lightning damage. So the zombies is a dexterity saving throw against 4 lightning damage, and the Minotaur is a dexterity saving throw against 8, also 4 lightning damage.
What's the DC
Wow,
on
that's
the
a
arc
nimble
lightning?
ass zombie.
A DC 16.
Yeah, so they take the same.
So,
as
yeah,
they do.
so they both take 4 lightning damage. And yeah, the Ghost Knight takes stunned, not paralyzed, so it doesn't get auto crit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So 9 bludgeoning, 8 lightning, and
No, monks might be broken, but they didn't make him that broken from the jump.
and because of my powerful blow, I ignore the resistance to bludgeoning damage. So
It didn't have it, so.
oh, also does the 26 exceed the Ghost Knight's AC by 5 or more?
Why?
Powerful blow. If it exceeds the AC by 5 or more, it must succeed a strength saving throw, or be pushed back 5 feet per damage die and knocked prone.
I will say that this thing can't quite be pushed. So,
Okay. So
it's not
Ghost, you know.
entirely there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right.
But it can be punched with bullets.
If you wanted to push it, you'd have to do the Hulk clap.
I mean,
Jasira is up.
yep, and Jasira. Jasira is going to fly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So 10 feet in the air and this far over. And then she is going to... since there are more enemies on the way, and we're not sure how many of them there are going to be, she is going to do a swarm pistol shot, 2 of them at the Ghost Knight. Yeah, with advantage. 18 and 18
That's it.
for 2 and 4 radiant. That's their turn, and I'll be right back because there are children that need a second parent.
On the Ghost Knight's turn, something that all of you notice about it.
Also, it's relevant. Zervan's AC is 19.
Yep. That sort of green haze of necrotic energy that has existed throughout this ship seems to siphon into the Ghost Knight as at the start of its turn, as it seems to shake off the stunned condition at the start of its turn and regain a significant amount of hit points.
Son of a bitch. Alrighty.
As something clears the condition on it and also restores a number of hit points.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know.
Cool.
Not all of them, but a notable amount.
Not all of them. He's still down 1.
Yes, okay. The Ghost Knight will then... Yeah, okay. The Ghost Knight's form, as the horse sort of rears up, its form sort of discorporates for a second as it seems to teleport, and ends up in the air next to Till.
Fuck this guy.
As you are looking around trying to see where it is, you hear the neigh of the horse as you look over your shoulder, and the horse is rearing up as his blade is striking down at you.
Yo, boy.
As he makes 3 attacks.
Yep.
Wielding a battle axe, so it is still a blade technically, but there's a 16 to hit.
Not even a little bit.
10 to hit. Wow, these are awful rolls. Wow. Not one of those was
Can't
above a 10.
outfly me, motherfucker.
That was brilliant. Okay.
That was like watching somebody who doesn't know how to bargain be like, would you take 16 for it? No. How about 10? You are going in the wrong direction. All right, 8. Final offer.
Right. Patrick Starr, Ghost Knight.
3 Minotaur
take it or
skill.
leave it.
I'm going to step over here. And stomp over its friend who's in the way and swing at just us.
Does the zombie take damage, or can they occupy the same space?
It's a size category larger. It's just not being in the way.
Okay.
16 to hit just us. Wow, these guys can't roll for shit.
They've been dead for a little while, and they're tired.
I think my highest roll on a d20 so far has been a 10.
Just sidesteps it.
Except for the saves that they were making. Mistel is back up.
How does the zombie look?
I mean, it's a zombie. It looks like a zombie.
Fair. Does it? I mean, has it been injured? I don't recall.
I mean, it's definitely been hit. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Mistel and the Minotaur skeleton has not.
The Minotaur skeleton's also definitely been hit. Okay. More than the zombie has.
The zombie had half of its face shot off. The problem is that's how it died.
Right.
All right. I think Mistel will just take a swing at staying on Justus's back. We'll take a swing at the Minotaur skeleton, and I think gets advantage because they're there with just us, correct?
They get sneak attack without advantage because just us is there. However, they can move to flank if they want to. If they want to move over there.
Yeah, if they can do it without taking attack of opportunity, they'll move to the far side of the Minotaur skeleton.
And they could also just flank with the Zervan.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yep, you're absolutely right. All right, and that way they don't have to move. Okay. So we'll take that. We'll do that with a short sword then.
It has advantage. Though that still hits anyway, but yep.
A little bit better.
Hit.
So that is 11 points of piercing damage, and that should also be their sneak attack. 24. So 35 points of damage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that skeleton Mistle flies up to it and just drives her short sword into its skull, and the skeleton falls into a pile of bones.
Cool. And we'll flit forward and with an offhand short sword strike, swing out at the zombie. Also with advantage.
That'll hit.
26. 5 points of piercing from that one.
All right. Xander being Xander and Sen not being here is just going to take a couple of shots at the Ghost Knight.
Good man.
We'll also come back and land on just us. I didn't say.
Yeah. I'm gonna make 2 attacks with the Xano 1. Hit and hit. Nice. Blam and blam. As a pair of high caliber shells explode against the rough surface of the Ghost Knight's steed. Just us. It is your turn. Craig literally just left. Perfect. Oh, nope, there he is.
Coming back.
Sorry, I was having a filament issue just out of camera range. So with Mistle on his back, then Just Us is going to move out of range of the zombie, so potentially opening, hopefully just me up to counterattack. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we'll circle around to the far side of.
Notably, both Till and the Ghost Knight are in the air, so you're not really flanking from the ground.
How far up are they?
Till was about 20 feet up.
So the Ghost Knight is also 20 feet up?
Yep.
All right. In that case, that's my bad. In that case, I think we'll stay there. And Just Us is going to shoot it with a guiding bolt. We'll again turn and point. The blade is still not out of the bow-eyed blade, and we'll just sort of point at it with the handle, and say, "Everyone, follow the guiding light." And we'll point and try to catch it in a. Yeah, that ought to do it. That's a 26. What's that?
Assuming guiding bolt.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that. Yes, guiding bolt.
You did.
On the Ghost Knight, that hits. For 17 radiant damage. Ow.
17 radiant, and the next person to hit it has an advantage.
Minotaur skeleton is still turned because no one's hit it.
Yep.
And it is wreathed with sort of radiant, glowing light of sun that is sort of, as it wafts up and away, little tiny glowing bee shapes. It sort of resolves into little bees that go and fade off as they get farther from it.
Amazing.
All right. So, the next things on initiative count 20 that emerge out of the hallway. First, you see a pair of massive, brutish zombies that look to have, in life, likely been ogres or similar creatures. Emerge out of the hold. But filtering behind them are seemingly uncertain wisps that sort of stand out from the rest of the ethereal aura around them, that sort of make their presence known by virtue of seeming to condense some of this necrotic energy into a single form. At the same time, some of you might be a little distracted, but shadows coalesce on the ground near the edge of the hangar and begin to rise out of the ground as creatures that those of you who have been on Nocturna have seen before begin to take form.
Oh, these guys.
As a pair of void walkers rise out of the shadows in the corners of the hangar.
I remember these guys.
Hey, Shawnee. No thanks.
Yes.
Can you describe them? I haven't heard a description of them before.
Yeah, so these creatures that are rising out of the ground appear to be sort of amorphous, vaguely humanoid-esque in that they sort of have like these vague definition of a torso and face and a pair of clawed-looking arms, but they seem to be made entirely out of darkness. As they sort of rise, there are just these gleaming, burning, hungry eyes as these entities that seem to be made up of the raw energies of Ginunga Gap just rise from out of nowhere from the ground. As the Void Walkers arrive. Their shape is almost indistinct and yet solid all at once, as they seem to be made from nothing.
Oh boy.
As each of the Void Walkers gets their own turn. I keep being on the wrong layer. The Ogre Zombies and the Will of the Wisps go uniformly together.
Awesome.
Down from count 20. Phil, you're up.
Okay. We're gonna try and finish off this Ghost Knight. Point blank shot means I don't take disadvantage for being in melee while shooting. So he's just going to home in on this guy. 2 shots to start with. Whoops. Well, a 15 and then a 32. Because I'm not at advantage anymore.
The 15 misses, 32 hits.
Okay. So that is 9 ballistic damage. And he's going to use 1 more key point for 2 more attacks. 22 for 8 and 31 for 8.
So both of those, as those 3 shots sort of punch through the matter that makes up this Ghost Knight, its form becomes unstable and dissipates. And as it scatters, as it is destroyed, you see a glint of something shining that was hidden inside of its form that sort of twists in the air.
Can he try and reach out and grab it?
Make me a dexterity save.
Okay. Use my inspiration.
Okay.
God damn, even worse.
Your hand, you lash your hand up to try and grab, but it just slips through your fingers as something falls to the ground.
Okay. Let's see. He's gonna look around and see these things and yell for Xander to join up with the rest of the group. And that would be his action, and he's just gonna try and make a mental note of where that thing dropped, but he's honestly going to probably push. He's gonna drop to just make sure he's still within the sphere of Strida's aura. Which would probably put him at about 15 feet above ground at this point. But that's everything for him on this turn, since nobody's too close to Miss Fairchild.
When does Xander go?
He's already gone.
Okay. So Till yelled to get out of there to Xander.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that Voidwalker popped up just below him.
What have I missed?
All right.
We've got
So
Voidwalkers.
much.
Ghost Knight's dead. New creatures.
Is it in base-to-base contact with him? Would he take an attack if he fell back?
No, he's elevated
Okay.
above it.
Okay, all right.
Have I missed any choices that I've had to make?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Xander went, but he just shot.
Okay.
Yeah. And when the Ghost Knight was destroyed, it dropped something shiny that Till tried to catch but failed to. So, assuming, unless Jack, do you have anything else in your turn?
Nope, that's everything for me.
All right. So now the Will of the Wisps.
Voidwalkers.
Yes. So these Will of the Wisps with their 50-foot fly speed. 5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, no. Going around this way. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. One flies over to Kendall as an immediate source of life. One flies over to Till. And
Any
one
of
flies
those
over
provoke
to
attacks
just
opportunity
us.
from me?
No, they're small enough they don't have to get anywhere near you.
Okay.
The ogres, however, different story. As Kendall, one tries to shock you with an 8, probably misses you.
Mm-hmm.
One tries to shock Till with a 16, misses Till. One tries to shock and misses, absolutely misses.
Those are public.
Ends
by
their
the way,
turn.
If that matters.
Surprise. With straight up next.
So the first thing Surprise is going to do is move away from this spookum. 5, 10, 15, move away closer to safety. And call out, Kendall, are there more?
I said that.
Still?
Oh, now I don't know. It hasn't been my turn yet. I haven't looked.
You absolutely did not.
Shut
yes.
up! I did.
Yes, there are indeed still more.
Okay.
In fact, the flow doesn't seem to be slowing down, which seems to be the problem.
In that case, I'm going to drop a Thickening Radiance right in the doorway.
Okay.
That's con save.
Yes.
Zombies
For
can
now,
make con saves, right?
now, the ogres will make those.
Yeah, the ogres are the only one in it right now, and maybe a little bit of the Zervon.
I think you can just throw it further back in the hall to only catch the
Okay.
ogres and such.
That's good anyway, because that's where the zombies are. That's where the problem is coming from, and the goal is to slow down the problem.
It's a 21 and a 17 from the two zombies.
What's my DC? Oh, geez, where's my DC? I definitely know what my spell save DC is. I definitely know what that is.
I'm going to assume they both passed, based on.
Yeah, but I'd like to know anyway. It's proficiency plus 10
plus your proficiency plus your proficiency plus your spellcasting.
Okay. Yeah, no, they both passed. But now I know what my
charisma, which would
thing
make
is.
it DC 16, I believe.
What happens on a fail? I mean, on a pass. Anything?
I believe they'll take half damage of whatever Thickening Radiance does.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Let's take a look.
It does a lot of damage if they fail, but it does not do anything if they succeed. However, it stays over time. It can stay up for up to 10 minutes, and it applies to everybody in there. So I think it's...
When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, that creature must succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 4d10 radiant damage, suffer 1 level of exhaustion, and emit a dim greenish light in a 5-foot radius. This light makes it impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible. The light and any levels of exhaustion caused by the spell go away when the spell ends. It's a concentration spell, lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if there's this many, do we want to consider going around the outside again?
I mean,
with that,
this is.
Are you moving anywhere, or is
that's my turn?
Yeah, Streeta.
Okay. Street is going to move to here. Can you move the aura?
Yes, 1 second.
And she's going to attack twice with War Soul. Oh, whoops. Still not an advantage. God damn it.
You're advantage. You're blanking, unless you're attacking the Will-O-Wisp.
No, actually, she was attacking the zombie first. Okay. So, 15 hits for 12 slashing, 4 radiant.
Because that radiant damage was there, it doesn't get to even try and survive it, so it goes away.
And then whips around and takes a shot at the Will-O-Wisp to try and draw its attention. 27.
That hits.
Cool. For 13 slashing, 4 radiant against the Will-O-Wisp.
The Will-O-Wisp is fleshing, piercing, slashing. The War Soul is definitely magical. And it's not resistant or anything about radiant. Cool. So takes that full 17.
Okay. And I think that's everything for her. Yeah. Yep. That's the full works for what she's got.
Which Void Walker is it? It's this one. Who is just going to fly up towards Xander and try and swipe at him. 1 bite, 1 claw. 18 and 21. I'm pretty certain both those hit Xander. For 4 piercing and 4 necrotic, and 10 slashing and 3 necrotic.
Ow.
Well, so the ogre zombies go and are going to pick fight with the Zervan. Natural 1 misses. 10 misses. Wow, God. Dice. Kendall, you're up.
All right.
You probably also saw the shiny thing that dropped from the Ghost Knight. As it died.
I did. But while that is important, priorities have now shifted.
Oh God.
I am going to no, I can do both. I am going to Misty Step here.
Okay.
Pick the thing up.
You look down, and as you look on the ground, you see that the thing that had fallen out of the shape of the Ghost Knight appears to be some form of ring.
Okay.
And you pick it up.
Hold on.
Oh, one of the 9 rings forged for human kings.
He's not human.
It was a Ghost
Okay.
Knight.
I will not just instinctively put it on.
Okay.
Um,
You pick it up, and immediately you feel the rush of the necrotic energy that is in this vicinity begin to swirl around and try to swirl into you via the ring. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good. I'm so good at those.
Natural 20, you are.
All right.
So you immediately, as you sort of hold this ring, you feel the energy sort of trying to enter you and subsume you, essentially. And as you force yourself through it and sort of hold on to it, you gain a sense of what is happening and what is going on with this ring in particular. And you feel through this ring a connection to the undead that are swarming towards you on this ship. And you're not certain exactly what you can do with this ring, but you are
I just
fairly
put it
certain.
on.
Yep. You immediately attune to the Ring of the Undead.
Dope.
Immediately, you are no longer considered hostile to any of the undead in this area.
Cool.
Additionally, you can issue commands to them.
Okay.
You still have the rest of your turn if you want to issue a command.
So, like, kill everybody,
like-
okay?
No. I feel like in proper Kindle fashion, the intent meaning go away. Fuck off.
I mean, it's your intent carries through the ring. So as you just sort of shout that at these undead, every single one of them just stops the hostility and turns and starts leaving.
Just us spins and looks at Kendall. How does Kendall look right now?
So with the ring on Kendall's hands, not that Kendall can fully be cognizant of this fact right now. Several of Kendall's veins are sort of glowing this sort of unholy green, and so are her eyes. As she is wearing this ring and has issued the command for the undead within the ship to fuck off.
All I heard you say is looks hot.
How
That's a Disney villain. That's a Disney villain
obvious?
right there.
Yeah.
What do I need to roll to know if Just Us noticed the business with the ring, or is just turning and suddenly seeing Kendall commanding undead?
Roll perception.
At this particular moment, I'm not sure which would be worse for Kendall. Which assumption?
You definitely saw the shining of the ring as it fell and saw Kendall reach down and pick it up.
Kendall Fairchild, that is dangerous. Take it off and put it down.
No.
Question.
The blade ignites.
The Void Walkers were among the undead that fucked off.
The Void Walkers. So the Void Walkers did fuck off. They did not seem to fuck off by the order.
Okay.
They seem to have seen what happened and made their own judgments.
Surprised is not
We're losing. Run away.
Surprised is not paying much attention to Kendall right now. They're just staring at where the
yeah, like where the rest of the undead walked back out of the hall, the Void Walkers looked at Kendall and just sank into the ground.
Surprise is staring at their last known location.
All right, everyone, stop moving for a minute, please.
Till lands next to Kendall and just gives her a once-over.
I got a 19 on an insight. did that no seem like standard sort of Kendall, fuck you, I'm not gonna do, or like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me? Or is this, does that seem odd for Kendall?
So I'm gonna really quickly privately make a roll for Kendall.
Okay.
I mean, not knowing what's going on here, that answer would be yes and no.
Okay.
Like, it's not just an instinctual no. But I did not make it assuming I was under any influence.
Okay. I'm just, sorry, go ahead.
You're familiar with cursed items. And absolutely what Kendall just said absolutely just sounds like Kendall.
Okay.
That absolutely just sounds like Kendall being like, no, fuck off. However...
No, it doesn't. Just said the exact opposite of that.
Oh, sorry.
It's not just a standard, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do.
Yes.
But Kendall's was not a cursed, I'm not.
Yeah, right. Kendall's response was not necessarily driven by any outside influence.
Yes.
However, you are familiar with the idea of cursed objects preventing their wielder from wanting to be rid of them.
Right. There's a moment, and then the blade recedes back into the handle.
Yep. Till lands next to Kendall and literally just puts up a hand sort of towards the rest of the group and tries to catch her eye line.
Mm-hmm.
Is she willing to make eye contact with him?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you think he gets on a 27? For what it's worth, he doesn't look suspicious.
Confident.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to get assassinated when you control an undead horde.
It's a matter of feeling confident, justified in that moment, and definitely a sense of it's not you're not the boss of me. It's more of a you don't think I can handle this? Eat me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the Zervan sort of assumes a defensive position, and then Koltarn drops out of it. Before anyone starts hostilities again with ourselves, I just want to point out that what Kendall just did drove the horde away. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
I walk over. I am, however, going to sort of look at Kendall, take a picture.
You walk over, punch me in the face, and take
just wham. Take a picture with my cybernetic eye, and then transfer that to a data pad. However, Kendall, you will. I feel like you will understand, and I hold the picture up so that you can see what we're seeing. Why there's some concern.
That's hot.
It certainly could be, yes, but also slightly terrifying.
I mean, that's absolutely fair. I'm fine.
Can you take it off? Not will, can.
I'll try.
The ring does not come off.
No.
Kendall Fairchild, we have experience with your capabilities. You have overcome us when we were beasts. We do not doubt your capability, but some forces are grander than any of us. Will you accept help? And they put the handle of the blade to their hip. They don't really have a belt, but there's a hip attachment for the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, sort of upper outer thigh. It kind of clips on, and they hold out their hands towards you, and it's still that weird fluid motion that just kind of locks into straight outstretched arms, but palms out, fingers down, and they just stand there. Will you accept help with this?
Look, Justice, I appreciate that. My family has dealt with cursed stuff all the time. I knew what I was putting on. It felt bad. I'm okay with that. Will I accept help? Absolutely. From you, no, I don't trust you.
You do not need to trust us. We can break the curse and allow you to keep the item and use your own judgment in concert and discussion with those who accompany you. We would simply need to, without you removing it, place one of our hands upon the ring. It can still be on your finger. We are not ignorant of the fact that we have made you uncomfortable. That is a discussion that we can have, but we will remind you that even when we were bees, we have never acted towards you with violence. You have acted towards us with the same. We merely cautioned you against undertaking that same action. We are unarmed. We will place our blade into Mistel's care if you would be more comfortable.
That's a whole lot of talking without saying exactly what you're gonna do.
We would like to place one of our fingers, and they will move. They've been standing unmoving. They put their left arm down and take their right arm and extend a finger up, not pointing at you, extending straight up, like a. I can't do it, but it's like a very disconcerting, direct right angle to the arm. Place one finger upon the ring and disrupt the power of the curse thereupon. We will burn away its evil, leaving the power of the ring, but removing its ability to compel you to continue to bear it if you do not wish to do so.
Are you certain you can do so without ruining what this can do? Are you 100% certain?
May I make an Arcana check?
Yeah, you can roll Arcana.
We are 100% certain.
With a natural 20 on Arcana, you know that this item is almost certainly cursed. And you know that until you identify it to really figure out what all of its facets are, there are a number of possible outcomes to casting a remove curse upon it. It could, as you say, just let Kendall take it off and let her do whatever she wants with it. It could do nothing if the curse is particularly powerful. It could have a very specific condition for undoing the curse. It could completely destroy the item, which you are slightly concerned about the potential odds of the horde coming back if the item is destroyed and the thing that is controlling them is gone. It could theoretically let her unattune and take the item off, but still be cursed, and thus the next time anyone else puts it on, spread the same curse to them. There are a few possible outcomes with this. You wouldn't really know for certain until you took the time to identify the ring.
Okay. Then Just Us will say, no, we are not certain. If we have the opportunity, and I would suggest to all of us to do so, if anyone is able to identify the magic and the threading of art placed upon this ring, then we may be more certain. But we will not mislead you in an attempt to accomplish our own gains.
Would you let me identify it, Kendall?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, take Kendall's hand, and almost like a I'm putting a ring on your like a proposal motion almost, and just like hold the finger. I'm not going to marry you, and like hold the finger out.
No, you're not.
That he can get a good clear look at it, and then the eye, the cybernetic eye, just like begins scanning it as I take a minute to cast Identify.
We are not that kind of cleric.
As with the talk of, that sort of topic. With a 23, what's Xander's emotional reaction to that?
Xander is limping forward, injured, I think.
I was about to say, Xander is currently A, injured, and B, hearing talk about identifying magic items.
Okay.
Stardust, could you please tend to Xander's wounds?
He is in injured work mode.
Yes, of course. Xander, come.
Xander will just walk over and cool. Thanks.
Feel the cleansing burn of the light of the sun.
Can we talk about the whole burn thing?
Again, we do not wish to mislead our companions. Many caregivers lie to those who receive help and say, this will not hurt, or this will only hurt a little. This will hurt very much, but only for a moment. And we will cast... How badly hurt is he? Can I make a
He is below half.
Okay. Which is... how much?
18 of 52.
Oh, okay. All right. So pretty bad. I'm going to hit him with a second level.
Him very fucked.
No, he's super bad. I'm going to hit him...
Just start punching him over and over again.
No, I'm going to use a second level Cure Wounds.
Having had time to play with it in 5e, I'm going to start running more of my 5e games using the spell point system, because I honestly just like it better than Fancy and Magic.
Fair.
Actually, I don't have Cure Wounds prepared. I'm going to use a third level
Healing Word.
Healing Word, yeah.
I see Bees is still there.
No, I mean, that's very much... It's very much like a combat choice. Just they're very much a combat cleric. So 13.
Good. That puts him at 31. That's over half. So,
we will also give him some money.
Yeah, he'll take a couple of bites. Let's give him another 2. So, Coltarn, you take time to identify the ring. You identify it as the Ring of the Undead, which is a fancy way of saying a dead man switch. The Ring of the Undead is a cursed magic item that is intended to, for a variety of purposes as you sort of examine it. Actually, just roll me Arcana, just to see what you know of this item's history as you identify it.
May I guide, or am I still healing?
You can guide on this, yeah.
Okay. I'll actually
29.
help and guide if I can. Never mind.
Yeah,
I mean, if you help, it's almost... It could be a natural 20, but 29.
hey, roll again, see if it can be higher.
Turn off guidance, because I already rolled it. 13.
It was not higher. Cool. 29.
28 is a 19, so 29 with the +1.
So in your Arcano military studies, which was your studies of the applications of magic within the realms of warfare, rings of the undead are popularly used by necromancers and those who wield the undead in combat, particularly the Necros pirates, as a form of dead man switch. They are attached to a source of necromantic energy, magically tethered to them. If the ring or the bearer of the ring, so while within the radius of the necromantic tether, the bearer of the ring is empowered to command the undead that are bound to that necromantic supply, which basically gives them command over a force of undead. It's very useful for necromantic commanders to lead undead forces in battle. If the ring or the bearer leave the radius of the undead of the necromantic source that is powering it, radius depending on the strength of the source, they absorb all of that energy and then unleash it in what is in common terms called a necroquake. The resultant effect usually leaves an entire swath of area zombified and ready for pickup by whoever handled the whoever arranged the dead man switch. The curse prevents it from being taken off, just to try and help ensure that if it is needed to be done, it will be done. And also, over time, usually once a day, if someone keeps wielding it and just doesn't get away, attempts to turn the wielder into an undead, if they are not already.
So, removing this from Kindle would cause a necroquake?
Not removing it from Kendall, removing it from the radius of whatever the reactor on this ship is.
So if it's on Kendall when we leave,
goes off. Yeah, it goes off.
Right,
Yeah.
Zombie
Good
bomb.
to have in the moment, bad to have when we're leaving.
Question. I'm sure I've asked this before, but how closely associated is the void with undeath?
The undead are more than most capable of wielding the energies of the void because they are already something other than living, which means there is less of them for the void to eat in general. They are more easily attuned to the energies of the void.
Okay.
However, the void is something else. It is raw nothingness. It is not necromancy, and necromancy is not it.
Gotcha. The reason I ask is, would I be able to, in order to prevent this thing from being from continuing to be used by anything on board the ship, but also be from causing a necroquake if it leaves, would I be able to swap the necromantic energy that it's feeding off of from the reactor of the ship to my innate void powers?
Probably not. Those are two very different sources of energy.
That's what I wanted. That's why I wanted to check. All right. So we do need to get this off of you, Kendo, because it will kill you. This is a Ring of the Undeath. It's basically it's a security measure. If it leaves the source of necrotic energy that it is attuned to, it will cause a necroquake, an explosion of necromantic energies of the sort that it's been absorbing this entire time while it's been around the reactor. In doing so, it will cause a lot of problems. Those things are not good. Additionally, while it's on your finger, while you're under its curse, you will not be able to remove it, and it will be trying to turn you into an undead.
Okay.
It controls all the undead in the area of the energy source that it is related to. So while it is here, it would be able to stop the undead from attacking us, or them do whatever they fall under the commands of, but also it will be continually trying to kill you. So good in the moment, not long term.
Yeah, so keep it on for now. And I'll be head undead bitch.
Would depend on the half-life of how often and how
often did you
quickly it can turn you
about
into...
once a day.
That's roughly once a day it'll try.
Has it already tried already?
I don't know.
Kendall, you're pretty certain that's what happened when you held the ring.
Yeah, it did. It did. I'm fine.
Oh, all right.
Okay. So,
And
like I said, I know
question.
I know cursed items. This is
ahead.
fine. I'm willing to, I am fine taking this risk so that we don't have to deal with the uglies.
if I could offer an alternative. I understand.
One follow-up question before we get into alternatives. Koltarn, was your analysis able to indicate if we can dissipate the necrotic nexus, assuming the reactor on this ship, what does that do to the potential of necroquake?
That also causes the necroquake, right?
Well, if you can dissipate it safely, then the ring just loses its power.
Yeah.
However, dissipating a necrotic reactor safely is an arduous and dangerous task.
If we dissipate it safely, then the ring would be the ring would lose its power.
I understand that's probably outside our capabilities at the moment. Just wanted to check. Anyway,
yes.
Alternatives, please. Yes, go right ahead.
And this is mostly out of concern for our dear friend Till. if something were to go wrong in the period of time that we are on the ship while you're wearing that ring, there would be an immediate and direct retaliation. Am I understanding that correctly?
You're talking about my dad.
Yes.
Yes.
So, look, is my dad a tolerant guy? No. He'd want answers first. And that might not be the most fun thing in the world, but he's not going to kill anybody until he gets answers. And honestly, I feel like if the situation were explained, like, there's only so much he can protect me from. And if I'm like, no, I'm wearing this ring, you can't take it off me now, you literally can't. I think doing your best at this point is fine. Understanding that, yes, I want to take this off before we go because I don't like being undead.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's gross. You putrefy and shit.
Yes. Not good, yes. My proposal was just an alternate bearer, since your death comes with a lot of surprise caveats.
Here's where I'm going to counter. So we're not going to be here more than a day, right? Probably.
Hopefully not.
I've already survived. We try and get it on someone else, they're going to have to try and survive.
That is an entirely fair argument. All right. But before we leave, do I know the rough radius that the ring is safe in?
You have no idea. It depends on the source. You would probably assume within the confines of the ship.
Yeah.
You would not want to test how far out from the ship she can go before that goes off.
So before we leave the ship in any capacity, just to be safe, because I'm not quite sure on the radius, we'll need to take that off you. But until then,
and to answer the remove curse question, because this is a thing you would also know with that almost natural 20. Remove curse is
identify, but you know,
and the identify. Remove curse is a toss-up. Normally, yes, it just allows the bearer to take the ring off. There is a percentage chance that will be rolled when remove curse is attempted that it severs the ring's connection and causes the necroquake prematurely.
Mm-hmm. Do I know what that would identify? Have told me that percentage?
About a 10% chance.
All right. Also,
good odds.
Bringing it up now, actually, because it is relevant. Removing the curse magically is not a guarantee. I mean, it's a guaranteed success at removing the ring, but there's about a 10% chance that it will trigger the trap, basically, early. So, fair enough. We don't want to remove it more than once.
Right.
You're muted, Craig.
I was just going to say, remind me out of character. A necroquake is a bad thing, even if we're all not on the ship, correct?
Pretty much.
Okay, yeah. That's not just oops, the ship blew up. That's like
how many of you played Doom 3?
It's been a while, but yeah.
Remember the opening of the
you remember
the opening of the Hellgate and how it turned the entire facility into zombies?
Okay, yeah. So, okay.
That.
What if there's nobody on the ship?
Radius? Because
that's
already pretty fucked.
That depends on how potent the necromantic reactor is.
Okay, so this could be a Gilgamesh station.
It could be just the radius of the ship. It could be to the edge of the station. It could be to the station and beyond. It depends on how powerful that reactor is.
Damn it, Buzz Lightyear. Okay.
Till while we're exploring the ship, now that we're slightly safer, although I don't know if all the undead on the ship were affected by the ring, could you search your memories of being a shipwright for any way that we can power down, depower, deactivate a necromantic reactor?
Sure.
I'll go through my own notes and see if we can come to a conclusion on this.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I'd like one of us to roll with advantage, some sort of check, to see if we can figure out how to depower this reactor.
Yeah, Till do like a cursory kind of examination, see what he thinks the cross section of this is, and assuming that this is some sort of intelligence check, help Coltarn.
Look, y'all are gonna love my path of the extra barbarian.
All right, Coltarn, roll me a technology check with advantage.
Also guidance, if some of the physical bees will settle on Coltarn's shoulder and just go, come on, you can do this.
Another 29.
So with a 29, theoretically,
Love a good solution that starts with that word.
Right?
Yeah.
Best kind.
So there is a potential method. You don't have the resources to partition out the necromantic energy or siphon it off on a large enough scale to really impact the damage a necroquake here could cause.
So
Theoretically,
definitely calling Kindle's dad. Got it.
if you could theoretically perform what is called a it's called an Emir's Gambit, which is to dump the potentially offensive or explosive device into Gununga Gap before it goes off. Because typically, Gununga Gap, being the void and the plane of emptiness, will consume whatever the explosion was and not let it get out.
Here's a wild thought that I don't think we're going to be able to do because I don't think anybody even has this spell. But,
Plane shift the
does no, I was going to say, does anybody have the ability to awaken the core?
I'm just gonna shame it into no longer
Then
being
it's a
zombie.
creature, and I can banish it to another place.
Actually, no, great idea. Shawnee,
Now you're thinking with portals.
would I be able, if the engines are enough intact, would I be able to, utilizing, if we were able to like pull apart the Gununga Gap drive or whatever, the Stardust drive engine, like the warp portion of
Yeah, the actual jump drive.
the jump drive itself, could I power sort of retrofit a basically a one-use planar gate using the jump drive and my connection to the void as a power source to shunt something or part of something at least into Gununga Gap.
Theoretically, that is definitely a thing that can be attempted. If the jump drive on this ship is enough intact, and you can essentially hotwire it to the reactor itself.
I'm thinking between Till, Xander, and myself, maybe we've got a chance of doing that. So the only thing I can think of, and it's a very long shot, potentially between Till, myself, and Xander, we could retrofit the jump drive of the ship to the undead reactor core, use my connection to Gununga Gap as a power source, and phase shift it into Gununga Gap.
So we're opening a modified, reduced scope jump gate inside the ship in order to
localized entirely
localized
to
the reactor, to the necrotic reactor, in order to just drop it through a hole into another dimension and effectively yank the grenade while leaving the pin behind.
Yes, which would cut off the ring from the power source, prevent the necrotic quake, and solve a lot of problems at once. The risks are many and catastrophic, but
it's dramatic, it's adventurous. It sounds like the sort of thing that the Core Adventurers Guild would tell stories about and build their reputation on for some time. Alternatively, we also have the option that Justice casts a spell and we just walk away.
I mean,
once we're done here.
That's my question is let's play the odds here. What are the odds that your thing works? Roughly.
Because we've got a 10% chance that Just Us's spell makes everything go horrific.
I'm not suggesting this is the plan we go with. That's the only thing I could come up with.
It's a reasonable plan, especially if it has a better chance at success than 10% failure.
I feel like it's not a better success chance than 10% failure. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's not a better than 10% chance of success.
So here's the trade-off. The 10% chance on remove curse on the ring is a binary flip. Right. Either the ring comes off easily or necroquake happens. There is more range of failure that is not catastrophic in the plan of try and Emir's gambit on the reactor.
But
it just doesn't work, and we have to try to try the ring thing anyway. There is it's not strong enough, and it just fails to go through. There is we let void things in place of the reactor. There is a number of things that could go wrong that are less catastrophic than necroquake, and a much smaller chance of as catastrophic as necroquake or worse happening.
And most of the things that would be failure on the gambit leave Just Us's solution still on the table.
Leave the option of remove curse on the table. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not that it's a better or worse chance. It's that it's a different chance because it could do nothing. It could do less than nothing. It could tear a hole in space-time and swallow Gilgamesh Station and Gununga Gap.
I don't like that.
But that one's probably like a less than 1% chance.
All right. Well, that's good at least. Well, I'll put it up to everybody, and Miss Fairchild in particular is the person who has this on her finger. What do we think?
Surprise has been paying no attention.
Just sort of staring off at where those voidwalkers went the entire time. Yep.
Focused.
Okay. So one abstention from Surprise, apparently.
Surprise.
Oh. What?
We're voting on a plan of action.
Oh, 4.
That's not an option.
One or two.
Four as in approval?
Oh, 4 as in approve?
As in 4 versus against?
Yeah.
All right.
Just with no context.
Right, yeah, no. Till's willing to take that at face value, though.
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
Justus isn't.
Right.
Justus says, that should not count. An informed vote should not be considered. To that point, we should not roll dice with other lives. If we are to make this decision, we should take into account at least the input of representatives of Gilgamesh Station.
Well, here's the thing, Justus. We're rolling dice with other lives, no matter which choice we make.
Yes, but we should allow them input. It should not rest solely on us.
Their input is probably going to be kill Kendall.
I mean, we can at least take that under advisement and not do that if that's what they decide to go for.
Because that is absolutely, no offense, Kendall, that is the least consequential action, or that is the least potential consequential result, other than nothing happens because we successfully got
none taken.
Well, couldn't we just kill her and put her in a different body?
That's not
how the ethereal.
That's not how non-ethereals work. Surprise.
Why not?
Because we are unfortunately lesser beings.
That sounds...
More to the point, if you kill me, whether you can put me in another body or not, my dad will definitely show up, and that'll be much harder to explain than we couldn't stop her from putting the cursed ring on, and then she blew up.
I'm not saying that that is the solution at all. I'm just running the numbers.
We understand that you do not trust us, and we understand that this suggestion likely will not help with that. But please understand we are being forthright in this. Is your death something that immediately alerts your father, or would we be able to kill you briefly, remove the ring, and then restore your soul to your body?
Say new body.
Also, Shawnee, am I remembering correctly that killing the bearer of the ring also triggers a necroquake?
If they die, yes.
Also, sorry to interrupt your answer, Kindle. If we kill Kindle, a necroquake happens anyways. So also there's that.
What if we knock them unconscious?
Then the
That
ring
doesn't get the
come
ring off.
Yeah, but okay. So it's not just that it physically can't be removed unless the curse is off. It's not that
Yeah.
they oppose it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
the trick here being, if the bearer expires without turning into an undead, or if the ring leaves the radius of however far from the necromantic source,
yeah,
boom,
Kaboom.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
so-
I think Just Us would have asked the first question, but I think Just Us would have known better than Craig to ask the second question about unconsciousness. So the first question about killing Kendall still stands.
Yeah.
With the response received, but I realistically don't think
So-
Just Us would have then suggested the unconsciousness thing.
I absolutely appreciate the desire to work with the station and get their input, but literally nothing that we choose to do will have a dramatic difference on the percentile chance that everyone on Gilgamesh Station dies.
We disagree with you wholeheartedly. We could give them the ability to evacuate. They
Well,
need to be
going
warned.
They're
They
not-
need to be warned so that they can make their own decisions.
I agree that we should get an update. Let's contact Amelia, Ivern, and Darius and let them know what sort of situation we have here. We don't necessarily have to give them all the details on the intricate mechanics thereof, but let them know that there is the potential for a necroquake countdown here. We are working to mitigate the risk to the greatest extent possible, and let them know, give them the option to, as the people who hired us for this job, let them inform the authorities on Gilgamesh as they see fit.
Are we confident that they will do so?
I mean, they hired us for the job.
I was gonna say, Johnny, based on Till's honestly probably had the most interactions with these people.
Roll me an insight check.
Okay.
May I do the same for Just Us?
Sure, you'd be at disadvantage though.
That's fair.
God damn it.
19 and 19, baby.
Hey, there you go.
Well, 20.
Uh,
Yeah.
We pay
Just Us.
attention.
Just Us. You don't know those three well enough to like properly identify what they'll respond with. You get the idea, just based on your understanding of who Ivern is, that he may have further insights, if nothing else, being theoretically an experienced necromancer. And with a 12 from Till, I mean, if they follow basic protocols, they would at least warn people and get them out of a potential blast
Right.
radius.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be standard protocols for an operational capacity being permitted on a station like this. Yes, you're required to make sure that evac alarms are listed in situations like this.
We must insist on being present during this discussion.
We can call them on comms right now, or if you want to.
Comms would be sufficient.
All right. Yeah. Till we'll try and ring up Ivern and Amelia.
While you do that, Kendall, do you want to come with me and Xander so we can check on what we're working here with, since you're in charge of the undead?
Sounds good.
And Till's brief for our patrons is basically there's a potential countdown to a necroquake powered by the reactor here. We might be able to jury rig a Ganunga Gap drop Amir's Gambit for it. Or we can do a quick and dirty magical solution to try and disarm the trigger. that has about a 90% chance success rate, 10% chance everything goes kaboom.
So you contact them over comms and
Right.
provide that report.
Mm-hmm. And if Ivern raises any questions, he won't mind being like, it's a ring of the undead. Haha.
Yeah. So Ivern, having gathered all the information, says over the comms to Amelia, Amelia, see about dispersing everyone that is available to the back half of Gilgamesh Station. Judging by the reactor senses that I'm getting, the blast radius would cover the majority of the station, but not the entirety of it. Cover as much evacuation as you can. I will be keeping watch and will intervene if absolutely necessary for something on my end if I can do anything about this, if it comes to the worst. I will trust in each of you to do your best to resolve this without the level of intervention that I would be required to perform.
How long will it take? This is the first that Just Us has said. Just Us has just been standing stock still listening, but we'll interject at this point. How long will it take you to evacuate everyone on Gilgamesh Station to a minimum safe distance?
For the individuals that are on this side of the station is well suited to being attacked and being in danger. Once alarms and evacuation alerts are given, they should be in motion within minutes and fully outside the blast radius within an hour or two.
It'll take longer than that for us to jury rig a fucking single point plane shift device.
Till Wayland, that is acceptable to us, provided we give them that amount of time. Actually, can I make an insight check just to make sure that this guy isn't just bullshitting us?
Roll me insight.
I understand that he's not in range of zone of truth, but
Yeah.
only a 9.
You can't fucking tell over comms.
Till Wayland, is this man's tale full of truth or lies?
18.
This man sounds like has the confidence of an expert.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ivern is an expert in his field and has absolutely no vested interest in our failure in this situation. All right. We'll be able to give you at least that amount of time. Whatever jury rig solution we come up with is going to take at least several hours to enact, I am certain. We will keep you updated as the situation progresses, and we appreciate your monitoring and putting yourself out there as the last resort should things go absolutely horrifically.
I hope it doesn't come to that, but good fortune.
Dust nights out.
After Till cuts the connection, we're off on our own, right? Just the two of us?
Mm-hmm.
Till Wayland, we would have a moment of your time further.
Speak your mind.
Kendall Fairchild does not trust us.
Yeah.
In the event of... Strike that, sorry. In the event that we are required to remove the curse, we feel it would be best if the rest of the Dust Knights are removed from the ship. But that would place merely Kendall Fairchild and us behind, and we have concerns that they would agree to stay alone with us. We do not wish them harm, but we would wish to mitigate harm to all of you. We would ask you to help Kendall Fairchild, listen to us, and perhaps this suggestion would be better received coming from you than from us.
Any suggestion to make, I believe Kendall would be willing to agree with, because in the event that we have to roll the dice and see if it comes up a 1 or a 10, I'm very much in a similar frame of mind to yours. It'll be Kendall and you and me.
we understand that the parts of us that are informed by the us that was Zarathrax are somewhat difficult to like. And as part of that, we find ourselves unconcerned with whether or not people like us. But
Fair enough.
the parts of us that were Zarathrax also understand that for us to be an effective force working together as a group as the Dust Knights, there needs at least to be trust. We would ask you for your assistance and your advice into how this can be restored with Kendall Fairchild.
Honestly, personally, especially if you comb back through Bees' memories, I think it's going to just take time.
We have learned...
Miss Fairchild had a difficult relationship with Bees at the outset as well.
Indeed.
And eventually acclimated to understand that their behavior had a level of consistency to it, and while it might not have been completely rational by her analysis, the lack of intent of harm or violence was eventually established in Miss Fairchild's mind to a level of confidence. I presume there is a similar, based on discussions that I've had with her, situation now. You are an unknown factor, and for someone from her background, as I understand it, that is inherently distrustful. Once your factor becomes less unknown, I wouldn't be surprised if she establishes that level of comfort. But at this point, I would say continue as you have been. Exercise a level of empathy, understanding where she's coming from, whether it's rationally justified in your mind or not. And as long as nobody does anything shitty on either side, it will work its way out. Muddied water clears in time.
We will remind you that past aggression between the version of ourselves that was Bees and Kendall Fairchild is not originated by the version of ourselves that was V's.
That's true. You seem pretty capable, though.
We are. We do not have any fear. As you have all seen, death to us is merely a matter of inconvenience for a day's time. At the following sunrise, we rise again, as does the sun. But we do not wish to have to employ violence against those who are supposed to be our allies.
Indeed.
We will not hesitate to do so if it is necessary.
Yes. And you operate on a level of sapience that Bees had not accessed yet at the time of that confrontation with Kendall. And when Miss Fairchild enacted said violence, it was in response to overt behaviors from the individual known as Bees. Ethicists could argue whether it was a disproportionate response or not, but I feel you are of a mind where you can look at a situation and say, of the choices of behavior before me, I can pick one that is not antagonistic.
There is a moment of silence, and then Just Us says, Till Wayland, if you are aware of ethicists who would argue that physical violence is an appropriate retort to childish mockery, we would ask you for their names, for we would wish to have words with them.
Till names at least 2 orcs and a dwarf of his acquaintance on Gilgamesh Station.
Just Us pulls out a data pad and beautifully notes those names down under a header that says, for future discussion.
So, obviously the events of this session have moved relatively quickly, which sort of precluded this earlier. I will ask the group, do we want to go on a break here before the end of the session?
Yeah, let's take 5 or 10.
A quick 5-minute break.
Yeah. So we'll be right back.
All right. When we take a break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. A dinosaur story.
So, meanwhile, from that conversation, Kendall, Xander, and Coltarn.
Turn off the turn order, by the way.
Oh yeah. So Kendall, Xander, and Coltarn.
Yep.
Make their way towards
downtown.
Exactly. Towards the reactor. With Kendall, I am just personally imagining just every time Kendall sees an undead, she just goes shoot.
Yeah.
Tells them to go away.
No.
Meanwhile, I'm just like, Xander, hold still.
Give him some healing juice.
2 doses of Troll's blood serum.
But eventually, yeah, you make your way over to the pathway that leads to the necrotic reactor. I'm assuming, unless you were heading somewhere else first.
We were going to look for the jump drive, which might be in the same place, but...
Alright, so yeah, you'll be heading for the jump, which is nearby, but not exactly the same place. Roll me a technology check with advantage once you arrive, just so that I can see what condition you find this thing in.
Alright. I will use my one-off, once per day Master Maker. Oh wait, no, that's right. It's just always prepared, not once off. Never mind. I don't have any spell slots for that, so I can't use enhance ability. So I will just make that check. I had advantage anyway, so it wouldn't matter. Advantage. Blam. 11 and an 11.
You want to use inspiration on that?
Good going me. Do I have an inspiration? I don't have an inspiration.
Fair enough.
If I had one, yes, but I don't.
So 11 isn't below 10. It's not unsalvageable.
I rolled a 2. That's as low as I can get.
Yeah, it's a good thing you have a high technology roll. So when you find the jump drive, it is in bad shape. You suspect that currently it was probably good for the jump that got it here, and it is now in dire need of repair to be stabilized. If you tried to enact your plan right now, there is a significantly higher chance of the gate being destabilized and causing significant damage.
Would it be possible, while he's looking at this and sort of like going over the amount of time it would take to repair it and everything, would it be possible to decouple the jump drive from the Gold Nashville Care, get it over here, and use it?
Theoretically, although then you'd be down a jump drive and would need to replace it.
Yeah. Better than being down a Kendall.
Yeah.
Who's waiting for someone to say it?
100% out of character.
Coltarn's objective has always been everyone survives. Well, unless you think your father can get a jump drive to us within a day, Kendall, we might have to use the jump drive off the Gold Nashville Care.
I mean, probably not, but I can check.
Well, if you would like to. Actually, that's a question. Do you want to tell him what's going on right now?
Oh. I mean, plus side be very helpful in saving a lot of people and preventing catastrophe in this area. on the flip side,
daddy issues. He says with a smile.
all right, we're just not gonna we're not even gonna acknowledge that.
Look, everyone here has daddy issues. I have them too. Even Surprise has them, although in that case it's lack of daddy issues.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of fatherless behavior going on, is all I'm saying.
Look, Till just misplaced his, okay?
Minor. I mean, I feel like maybe if I explain it in a way that downplays but no, but then he's gonna show up and he's gonna need to. You know what? No, I think I've got this.
It's your call.
I think we're good. I will go ahead. Yeah, I will try and. I mean, worst what came to worst, what's the worst thing that can happen? So
as you start making the call, I'm just gonna calm Till. And
well, it's roughly as Kendall picks up her charm to communicate with her patron / daddy, that Till, with his fly speed of double most everyone else's, arrives because he had been intending to follow up after his conversation with Justice.
Till. Kendall's about to call the father, so whatever prayers you need to do before that.
Mm-hmm. How are we looking?
The jump drive is shot. If Kendall's father can't get us a jump drive here within a day, we're going to need to use the one off the Golnash.
Right.
We could.
Is there anything here left behind that we could use to repair or...
You could theoretically repair the jump drive. It would take hell of a work.
Yeah. My initial gut reaction is it'll take at least a couple of days to repair it, and we don't have that kind of time.
Right. Nope. Time is... Yep. All right. I mean, yes, pulling the functional out of the Golnash. We'd be stuck a bit on... Although...
What we're getting for the salvage of these vessels might give us enough to upgrade the Golnash anyways.
Or we upgrade the Golnash by flying Frozen Fang out of here once we've got...
I will note the Frozen Fang is a battleship. It probably requires a crew of more than just you.
We've got 3 extras than just us. We've got Jasira and Strida and Xander.
And Tolbar, technically.
And Tolbar, god damn it.
Fair enough.
Till wants a fucking battleship.
That's the ship we're on right now, though, right?
The Frozen Fang is the one we're on right now. Yeah.
Yes, flying. You mean the ship that we are about to send the reactor into the Gununga Gap on?
I'm just saying, maybe between 2 ships that are both missing important pieces, we can wrangle a way to get 1 ship functional out of those. And I like this big one, if we can make it work. But yes,
that's fair.
Immediate problem being
maybe someplace
reactor
in between
drop.
The big one and the little one. But
right,
yes.
Exactly. But yeah, no. If Mr. Fairchild doesn't have an option for us, that's probably our next best shot.
So, Kendall.
All right. So yes, focus on the charm. Hi, Daddy. So funny question. Do you have a spare jump drive? Because we could use one here. Like, could you bring one over, like, tonight?
Like,
oh
now?
Dear, did your jump drive get destroyed?
It's kind of a long thing to explain over talks. If you can come here, we definitely need one. If you come here, we can explain it a little bit better. I don't know a lot of the technical stuff behind it, so the other guys can explain it a little bit more.
Till's holding up a placard that says "Class 2 or better,"
and she 100% talks during this. This is not just in her head,
right?
So you're absolutely
hearing half of a conversation, right? Amazing.
All right, I think I can probably bring something along.
I think she just threw us under the bus.
I'll see what I can bring up on short notice. I'm sure somebody in the shipyards has some parts that they owe me. I'll see what I can gather and make my way over there.
All right, great. Love you. See you soon,
darling.
Bye.
How soon is it?
Sometime today. Sometime today or tonight, probably.
I know with great trepidation you didn't give him coordinates or destination.
Oh, he knows.
Right.
I'm here, so he knows.
Yep.
But no, this way, he's not going to come here angry, potentially. And once he's here, we can explain the whole thing in detail to him, and give him all the context right away.
All right. Well, let's go take a look at the reactor and see if we need to clear anything out and what we needed. We can at least do the prep work while we wait for a jump drive to be made available.
Sounds good.
Yep. Yeah, Till will just gather everybody together, make sure everybody's present and ready.
Presumably, and Just Us and Missile had apparently been on their way as well, so it doesn't take long before everybody is gathered up in the same place.
I do like the idea that we're like, all right, we've got
surprise is gathered.
Yeah,
I like the idea that we're like,
yeah,
that we're like, all right, so we've got a little bit of time, and it takes about like 20 seconds. All of a sudden, he's here.
Right.
Oops. You were supposed to take longer. No.
We thought you were on the other side of town.
Thought he was.
Yeah, that's the problem. He was.
Yeah. Let's
he
go
just
see
walked
what's
by,
in the reactor
ripped a
While
jump
we're on
drive
the way,
out of a ship.
While we're on the way to the reactor core, Colton's going to fall back a little bit and just hand on Surprise's shoulder to get their attention. What's bothering you?
Nothing. We're good.
You're very clearly not nothing. You were staring at a single spot the entire time after the fight ended, and weren't paying attention to anything that was going on.
Actually, the problem is it is nothing.
I didn't see what was going on at that end of the fight. What happened?
If I stay with the group, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yes. And if you talk about it, then we might be able to solve a problem or two, or provide some additional comfort somewhere else. You don't solve problems by waiting for them to go away. They never do.
Yeah, I know. But I think this one's a little bit bigger than... So I'm just gonna come along, okay?
Alright. When you're ready to talk about it, I'm here. And I will head back to the front of the group.
You spend a couple of hours just taking pieces apart and trying to bring things around. The reactor room is awash in necromantic energy. The motion tracker is not showing the same level of activity inside the reactor as the other ship, as the Eventide was.
Mm-hmm.
But as you sort of check the room, the necromantic radiation in there probably makes it hazardous to enter. Unless, maybe, you're Kendall wearing that ring.
Is it like core breach vibes? Is that kind of what we're getting?
It's more like, you ever want to walk inside an active reactor?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's sort of like that.
But I mean, compared to the other one, which seemed contained but full of bad shit, this one is like, oh, the bad shit's already on the outside, sort of. Or...
It's more like it is still contained and there's no bad shit in it, but it is still an active necromantic reactor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a way to deactivate it?
Super bad, but objectively less bad than the last one.
Yes, definitely.
Deactivating it the exact thing that will cause Kendall to explode?
Yeah, turning it off, like turning off the steady flow of it.
So in that
probably
case,
a bad plan.
In that case, all right, we've probably got 10 minutes, and I will reach up, and he'll reach up. He's not in the Vault Reserve right now, and just palm a pad in the shoulder of his prosthetic arm. Flip it open, press a few buttons, and turn something, and a geodesic bubble shield just emits from him. So, in a 15-foot radius, translucent triangular plates of force assemble to form a 15-foot radius spherical dome around you, centered on a point you touch. I believe in this particular case, it's installed in me, so I think it might come with me. That's up to you, I guess. The dome contains clean, breathable air and airborne substances such as poisonous gas, smoke, or fog. The dome contains clean, breathable air, and airborne substances such as poisonous gas, smoke, or fog can't penetrate within it. The dome insulates those inside it from extreme temperatures, regardless of the outside environment. Creatures can walk freely into or out of the dome, but the dome blocks range attacks, spells, and other effects. And it
protect against radiation?
This is spells and other effects. And this is my bubble projector, which is an actual gadgeteer item, which is rather than the actual spell. So it's a physical device that generates the shield, and it's installed in my arm, which is why I would think it would come with me. But that's up to you, I guess.
Spells and other effects is a hell of a broad phrase. Damage is an effect, technically.
I mean, it's basically it's basically a tiny hut.
Yeah,
it's basically a tiny hut, like
except it lasts for 10 minutes.
I would say that it does need to be planted on a point because it's a projector. Like you have to basically shoot it out of your arm on a point.
Okay, well in that case, I would put it at the door, so that it projects 15 feet radius from the door. So that we can actually get into the reactor.
You plant it in front of the door. The energy shield sort of spreads out, and as you open the door, sort of pushes in and sort of pushes some of the necromantic radiation back away from it. Are you able to use that more than once a day?
Let me see. Bubble projector. Let me pull it up here.
Because I'm going to ask you if you want to do that right now if it's only once per day and you don't have your replacement reactor yet. Or your replacement jump drive yet.
I was wanting to just get a look at it, but yeah, that's actually a good point. Let me pull it up real quick. Because that's true.
Because I assume the jump drive works in that it effectively creates a rift to Ganunga Gap at a point in relation to its position.
In relation to the ship that it is installed in, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Usually.
It's basically you rip open a door in reality outside the ship and probably in front of it so that you can move through.
Yeah.
So effectively, I assume the way Till is theorizing this whole thing is we're going to futz with the settings. So instead of making a big door way out in front of the ship, it makes a little door inside the ship below the reactor, and it just goes through.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems like the plan.
Okay, yeah. Till will be if Coltarn's going to be
and we're powering it on not the ship because we don't want it to interface with the reactor at all, other than sending it away.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then we're just trying to, Till will be looking and trying to run the calculations on how we need to alter those settings specifically so that we get the right size door in the right place whenever we do get our jump drive here.
Roll me shipwright's tools with wisdom.
Oh,
you're sort of eyeballing these settings.
May I guidance, if I may?
Go for it.
Make sure I'm not at advantage. Okay. Add a D4 to this. God damn, I am rolling like ass today. 15.
15. You feel like you've got a general idea
Okay,
of
sounds
where those coordinates need to be.
Sounds good then. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Get your
shit together.
Right? Thanks, Bees. Mhm. Yeah, I'm with you there too, buddy.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not super proud of myself.
Yeah, it's once per long rest. So in that case, never mind. Yeah, if going in doesn't help us all that much, then I wouldn't do it yet.
And it's at roughly that point as you're all just sort of configuring and making calculations in your head that you hear over your shoulder. So, who would like to explain exactly what's going on?
I have no idea.
And with that, that's where we're going to end for the week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.